Let's begin. Let's do a sound check from 1 to 10. Can you hear and see me well? My name is Dmitri Zulkarnaev. I'm from the city of Chelyabinsk. I've been developing myself at NV Global for a year and a half now, and it's looking very promising. All right, I see the chats here. 10, 10, all good. All right, then let's get started. For those joining in, the recording will be available anyway. Today we have a new presentation, so I'll be going through the new slides with you online like a pioneer. NV Global. All right. What is NV Global? I'll read it out exactly as it is. It's written on the slide. An international IT company offering modern blockchain solutions, digital products for everyday life and business, as well as tools for investment, trading, and asset management. Our mission, we create safe and innovative IT solutions that provide access to financial markets and ensure easy integration into the world of technology. This is, in fact, one of the most important factors today because we live in a world of digitalization and the market is developing very rapidly. That is, it is developing in every way, and we are facing a number of specific circumstances, such as block transfers, making payments abroad, and so on. And most importantly, probably the majority of the population faces the fact that they don't have a financial instrument, and many people just go to work. So, we are going to talk about this in detail now, and I will explain it to you. Right here below, it says that such a company is officially registered in Turkey. This is our official registration. You can check this registry, enter this document into a specific registry and see it. Let's move on. Values. Most importantly, well, I am 34 years old. I have 3 children. I've been married for 13 years and I do sports, specifically boxing. I'm also the vice president of the City Federation of the Bryukhanov Center for Sambo. So I brought a Moscow foundation here, and on what principle did I do that? Basically, someone approached me for help in opening a gym. Naturally, they know that I have been involved in charity work for a long time. I just make one call, and as a result, my connections link me up with certain people, with the president of one interesting foundation called I Grow with Sports, which already has more than 90 schools across Russia and has been around for over 10 years. And we start this story. Why am I saying all this? For me, values are extremely important. Values, relationships, integrity, respect, family, love. Yes, that's a very important point. And naturally, without values, you can't get anywhere. And first and foremost, I looked at the values that NV Global as a company upholds, its founders, the company president, the management, and so on. Here you can clearly see in the listed, let's call them rectangles, that the very first thing we have is safety and reliability. We provide maximum protection for your data and assets, strictly adhering to international standards. You can read this here yourself. I won't read it out loud. So safety is probably one of the most important factors in our market today. Because in life in general, not just in the market, as we get older, we tend to trust less and less. Why is that? Because many companies and people in general don't talk about their values, and even if they do, they tend to forget about them. And that's probably one of the important goals in our company, values specifically. These are safety, freedom of choice and support, transparency and trust, accessibility and equal opportunities, innovation and development. So here you can read and see all of this together. It forms not just the foundation, but the very pillars of NV Global as a company. Imagine the huge Burj Khalifa skyscraper. If it didn't have a foundation, it would just collapse. That's why a company without values is guaranteed to fail. So, in general, values are needed everywhere in life. It's an important factor. So, let's move on. The founders, yes. For me personally, I know the founder and we have a very good relationship. We're not just doing business together, we're also friends. It's like we're part of a family, right? And for me, Alihan Murdashov is the founder and president of the company, who has 2 higher education degrees, over 35 years of business experience, and earned his first $1 million at the age of 23. I did that at 26, but Alihan did it at 23. And what's most interesting is that his main area of activity is in the field of international financial products and services. So you see, he really knows finance inside and out, especially on an international level. He also owns business ventures in areas like real estate, manufacturing, food production plants, mining, cryptocurrencies, and so on. He's also an investor and a philanthropist. On the right, next to him, you see his son. This is Emin Murdashov. He is the co-founder of the company. He is 22 years old, and he has been in business for more than 6 years. His main area of activity is sports, specifically boxing. As a boxer myself, I understand how demanding this work is, and he really has, a firm and determined approach. Because in that field, you get hit in the face, there's blood, tears, it's all about overcoming setbacks. So I can clearly understand what kind of person he is. And not just clearly, I know him personally, we communicate very well, we're friends, and I understand him specifically as a boxer. For many athletes in general, sports have a huge impact on a man's personal development, including his quality of life. So, Emin is the boxing champion of Belgium and has also competed as part of the national team in various international competitions. He is the owner of several business ventures. Just imagine that. Can you imagine the strength? 2 men, father and son, that is truly admirable. I say this with my hand on my heart. It commands great respect when a son follows in his father's footsteps and the father moving forward creates a company. And not only is he followed by a large number of people, but also by partners like us, right? And what's even more interesting is his children. That's an important point. And for me, a crucial factor in this company in general is that the president and founder of the company is a public figure. You see, it's about being public. That is, you see the face, you see the last name and first name. And what's most interesting is that many people who join the business, we talk to them and conduct business negotiations. Many already know, far ahead down the road about the solid reputation of our company president, Alihan Mordalov. And even if someone hasn't personally met him, as soon as they find out that the president and founder of the company is Alihan Mordashov, that's it. They just say, this is someone you can do business with. That's why I strongly encourage you to join. Yes, even right from the very beginning, because this is a very important point. Our foundation is the company president. So here we have a slide. Yes, there's a lot that might not be clear. We see the year 1993, we see the year 2021, right? And here it's clear that cryptocurrency is the key trend of the 21st century, but only 5% of its potential is being utilized. This opens up huge opportunities for growth in user engagement, making the technology accessible and understandable. This is the most important thing. If we choose a certain niche in business, okay, welcome. Yes, great. Guys, I'll be glancing at keep writing, but I'll be spending more time on the presentation itself so I can deliver the information to you as clearly as possible. Look, if we take a business niche, let's say you've decided to go into business. So the most important thing is to set a goal for yourself. That's the first point. Second, you need to choose a specific niche, a specific business direction. And most people, yes, and probably myself as well, from my earlier experience, right? And you'll probably understand me here. We always tend to follow those people who are visible to us, right? For example, right now, marketplaces are very popular and everyone rushed into them. No one had even heard about them for almost 20 years. Yes, one of our most prominent marketplaces, where everyone buys goods, has already been around for more than 15 years. Yay! And I personally hadn't heard about it until 2020, until the pandemic happened. And then suddenly everyone just rushed over there. And what's even more interesting is that now people are even selling courses on it. You see what I mean? In other words, how to teach this. catch this thread. In order to enter a niche, you need first to acquire some product, register as an individual entrepreneur, build a team, set up some kind of production or something along those lines. And what's even more interesting is that in addition to your budget and expenses for these products and for developing the whole business, you also have to spend a significant amount of money on a guide, on a mentor who will lead you, teach you, and show you how to make money in this. And believe me, the price tags there exceed 500 million rubles or more, right? And it's expensive. That's all I can say. And the most interesting thing is the market is already oversaturated. Do you understand that? And now about those 5% of the population. So just imagine what a huge market this is. Developing in it is just, well, it's like a vast ocean where you could catch a whale, right? Or you could catch a huge number of fish right in your nets. That's it. And in this industry, some people think, well, everything's fine. It'll work out as it is. But if we look at the scale, this scale, where Internet USIC history versus crypto heart. It's written there, right? We can see it starting from 1993. I actually took the time and Googled it on the internet just to be sure. You see, nowadays, the internet is probably our main source of knowledge, right? I mean, these days, it's not even about asking a person or reading a book. We just immediately go online, don't we? It's become such a natural habit for us. Whenever we have a question, we instinctively turn to the web for answers, almost without thinking. I actually took the time to Google it and looked up the entire history of the internet's development. And it actually starts back in the 1960s with the main role played by the ARPANET project, right? So it was specifically for advanced defense research, meaning data was sent from universities to research centers. And there were only about 4 channels in total. That's it. Then it started to develop further in 1983 and 1984, right? That is, it was the US National Science Foundation involved there. And so we're scrolling through 88, 89th, right? And probably by the end of the 1980s, the internet started to take on a familiar form, right? What? Internetorial devil. The function of real-time communication appeared like chat, just like now we connect with each other on Zoom. Previously, that didn't exist. So in 1988, thanks to development, this chat feature was introduced. In 1989, the Briton Tim Berners-Lee proposed the concept of the World Wide Web. You see, that's how it was. And eventually this project was implemented. Today, we use the internet and it is developing very rapidly. You can really see how from 1993 to 2001, for example, I only got my first regular phone, the kind you just use to make calls, in 2005. In 2009, I registered on my first social network. That is, I created an account. And over these 15 years, the internet has advanced tremendously. In the last 5 years alone, it has leapt forward even more, especially with the emergence of Instagram and various social networks like Facebook and so on. You've probably even seen a movie about the social network Facebook. It's called something like The Social Network or The Creator, something along those lines. Well, anyway, you get what I mean. That's why this story isn't going to stop. It will only keep developing. If for us back in the day, the internet was just a means of communication, first the telephone, then the internet, we would get something, send it by email, and so on. But today it has become so popular with the rise of social networks. In other words, when a social network has already become a kind of business card, a portfolio, an image for a person or a business, and you see, we can't stop this. We can either stay behind at this station, somewhere in a village or in the woods, or we can get on this high-speed train and move forward toward innovations and technologies where we have things like cryptocurrency and we start earning with it and so on. So, what's the situation here exactly? The situation is that whether we want it or not, we're all already deeply involved in this, you see? Back in 2002, the film The Matrix already showed us this, didn't it? That's why I see the only way forward is to take ordinary, simple steps in our development. If something doesn't work out for you, if you don't understand something or make mistakes, it's not a big deal. We have the Navigoba community, which will teach you, show you, and guide you by the hand like a mom and dad, and you'll become professionals in this industry. That's it. Next slide. As you can see, it's rather unclear. And what I really like is I've been involved in network marketing for more than, well, 13 years for sure. Yes, more than 13 years. Yes, what I like is that in network marketing, especially in business communities, in communities and companies, your mind is constantly progressing, meaning it's always under tension. I understand that you're looking at this slide right now and nothing makes sense to you, but I'll explain it to you now. So here, there's a small slide, right? ARK Invest, the company. Yes. They made their forecast for the price of Bitcoin, which they predict will exceed $500,000 and possibly even reach up to $2.5 million, yes, by the year 2030. In simple terms, why will this happen? When we started working with cryptocurrency back in 2016, Bitcoin cost $300. $300. Make a note of that. Take a piece of paper and a pen and write it down. You'll understand what I'm talking about in a moment. $300 with the exchange rate at about 60 rubles per dollar at that time. So roughly 300 bucks was 18,000 rubles. 18,000 rubles, that was exactly, well, 9 years ago. 9 years ago, just imagine, 9 years. Now imagine you attended a similar presentation 9 years ago, and I, on my own behalf and on behalf of the company, am telling you, friends, you've seen how the internet is developing. Today, we're at a point where Bitcoin costs $300. This is the year 2016. 9 years go by. During these 9 years, its price was 500, 1,000, 5,000. That's how rapidly it grew, because a large number of people realized that banks are essentially an institution that imposes a certain level of control over your money. In other words, this money doesn't really exist. It's just numbers, right, in the banks. Nowadays, most often, payments are made in stores with QR codes, visas, and so on. A huge amount of money, billions, is spent on advertising to get you to deposit in our bank and so on. But your money isn't actually there. We tend to think that it's our physical cash because the ATMs will give it to us, right? But in reality, these are just simple numbers. That's it. So we're living in a digital world. Cryptocurrency is, truly people's money. Bitcoin, for example, was created by someone called Satoshi Nakamoto, whom nobody knows. And people realized that they could exchange with each other. That's when the development of the blockchain industry began. Yes, the chain of blocks. Everything is transparent. There are certain exchanges that act as guarantors and so on. So, in a way, we're going back to history. We're kind of aware of this as it happens. You might not have understood anything because there were a lot of words and so on. Well, that's the situation. I did that on purpose to lead you a bit off track. Let's get back on track. 9 years have passed. If you open Yandex right now and type in Bitcoin rate, you'll see, yes, the movie, yes, the social network is the correct title. You'll see, look, I'm opening CoinMarketCap. It's an app, you can download it, and it shows everything right there. Here I have the top 100 coins, and the price of Bitcoin at this moment is $104,000. $104,000, 766 cents. So let's multiply that by an average of 80 rubles per dollar. We're taking the absolute minimum here. Just imagine 18,000 rubles in 9 years turned into 8 million rubles. Do you even grasp the situation? What do you think? Please write your thoughts in the comments. If we had a time machine and we found ourselves together at a similar presentation in 2016, I told you about this. You believed me, you bought in, we taught you, and you did it. Then we come back to 2025 and you have $100,000 in your account. What would you do? Oh, she contributed more. Guys, if you're really listening to me and this matters to you, this is $100,000. What would you do? I would buy something. What did you buy? A car, an apartment, I'd pay off my loans. Your life would change if you suddenly had $100,000 in your account. You get it? I think so, yes. Because my life changed dramatically since then. That's it. And why exactly will the price of Bitcoin keep rising? And it will, believe me, it won't be $500,000, but $1 million because it has a limited supply. If a bank or the United States in general can print as much of their paper money as they want, right? They just keep printing it and printing it. It doesn't matter to them, right? Like on Oxford Street, people would just throw money around, tossing out hundreds of dollars. They just print as much as they need. Bitcoin is a protocol. It was created, and its total supply is about 21 million. About 40% of it you haven't even written down because, well, you don't understand. If you were to bring in, say, 8 million right now, of course you'd be like, wow, you'd be thrilled. Oh, is that really true? You'll probably want to ask about that. But just imagine the situation. About 40% of all Bitcoin is simply lost because people didn't see any value in it at all, because no one explained it to them. There was no presentation from NV Global, represented by me, Dmitri Zulkarnaev, who, as a speaker, is now telling you all this, explaining and showing it to you, right? That's how it is. And someone bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoins. Someone just threw away a computer somewhere and so on. So 40% is lost, and out of the 21 million, only 60% remains. That is about 19 to 20 million were mined there. That's it. And it can be divided down to the 8th decimal place. That is 0.0001, like a single kopeck. So for example, in 2016, one single Bitcoin, just one, like a piece of gold, was worth $300. But today, that same piece of gold, that one Bitcoin, yes, the electronic one, is worth 8 million rubles. That's $100,000. Can you imagine? So if we take those $300, that would be 0.00000000, some tiny fraction of a Bitcoin, right? And it turns out that this tiny fraction of a Bitcoin becomes more valuable because a single Bitcoin itself has reached $100,000. I think I've explained it to you in a pretty clear way. It has a limited supply, and as a result, a large number of people are getting involved. They find it interesting. They realize it's easy, that you can instantly transfer it anywhere in the world without any restrictions, buy any product, pay for any service. It doesn't matter. In other words, this is already a trend today. Many countries have already implemented it officially, and there are official exchanges. So this is a topic that truly exists in our time. So if you're still wearing rose-colored glasses, I suggest you take them off, wake up, and start learning about this. Let's move on. So, what exactly is NV Global and the company's ecosystem? Right in the center, at the heart of our focus, is NV Global. Such wonderful, beautiful letters, like something new, you see, something global. And right from the very beginning, we have NV Partner. This is a community of partners and investors. What is a community of partners and investors? Understand, a partner is not just a friend. It's something more. It's a person who probably values their relationship with their partner. He will never betray him. He will never deceive him, because a friend might forgive. You see? He might, yes, well, a friend and so on. But if a partner betrays you even once in your life, then he will always betray you, cheat you, and so on. So in a community of investors and partners, it's like, entering a business school. You've made it. Here I am, open before you. So you see, I've already told you that I have 3 children, that I've been married for 13 years in the network, that I've been in crypto since 2016, that I earned my first million at 26. You understand? Not rubles, of course. That's it. More than 25 countries. In other words, I'm like an open book before you. Why? Because I also have a public social network. Many partners know me, so people can vouch for me. And when we meet at one of the events or presentations, you'll understand that this is real, that I'm a real person. In other words, I'm a genuine partner. I can explain things to you, help you with some tips, give you some perks, and so on. And that's an important point. Partnerships are built. Friends grew up with us in kindergarten, in the yard, formed at school. These are not people who share your values. They just happen to be in the right place at the right time, because there was one school, one yard, and so on. You see what I mean? But most often friends drift away and so on. And many people have also said that you shouldn't do business with friends. Here's what I can say. You can do business with friends, but first you need to become partners. When you start building a business with a partner, you look for a business partner based on certain criteria, on values. You talk about where you're going. You communicate your goals to them. And they understand that, yes, it's beneficial for them to work with you. This is a very important point. They realize that they won't be wasting their life, right? They will only grow together with you, and they will maintain these partnership relations, you see? And naturally, if you've established some kind of connection on a financial level, let's call it a financial thread, then you've also formed an agreement that you will move forward no matter what, whatever happens, you will achieve it. And of course, the goals. What does this give a person? I can say this: a person will never lose the relationship. They will even become your friend. That's why I have so many friends around the world today in the NV Global community. Because people are really creating something, doing something, and they end up at the event. I understand that there are those who, are like diamonds, who were just a rough stone and then suddenly became a faceted diamond. That's it. This is an important point for me. I think probably it is for you too, as they say. That's what I mean, what I'm talking about. Please give me your feedback. Next is Ajaya Holding. What is Ajaya Holding? You can just go to ajaholding.com. Ajaya Holding is an investment fund and our strategic partner. We'll talk about each one in detail in a moment. Next, yes, you see this little square, Neova IT Limited. This company is a developer of IT products. NV Finance is all about mining, trading, and crypto hedging in a variety of different ways. Damn, that's not the word. How do I put it briefly, okay? Well, let me check. That's cool. That's cool. All right, I got carried away talking. Fintech, that's the right way to say it. So, and right here we can see our products displayed. This is NV Wallet. We can actually use it. I just take my phone, open it, tap, and my NV Wallet pops up. It's password protected with fingerprints. I log in and see various coins, the wallet itself. I can make transfers, and the most unique thing is that there's a chat feature here. We're also going to talk about this in detail right now. BITNEVEX exchange, NVVPN, NV Paymeter. NV Paymeter is a payment system. NV Gaming, NV Team, NV Marketplace. So we've brought together probably the most important, probably the coolest and most in-demand niche, right? Specifically, you see different ones that people need and require. You understand? So we're creating an ecosystem that's just as easy to use as flying on a jet plane. That's it. Let's move on. What is Ajaya Holding? Ajaya Holding is a European investment fund and our strategic partner, NV Global. It ensures compliance with financial regulators' requirements, which is a very important point. It is licensed by the Czech National Bank. He's over 22 years old, if I'm not mistaken, right? The name has changed over time, but it's been more than 22 years. As of today, it manages 475,332,000 euros. Can you imagine? That's just half a euro. In 2026, and this is an important point, the goal, I'll even write it down. Can you imagine the year 26? The goal of Ajaya Holding is to increase it to 1,218,000,000 euros. Do you understand? And so it gives us exactly this kind of right, yes, precisely this kind of license, which allows us to easily provide consultations, really easily consult, easily communicate with people, and carry out certain financial operations. In other words, it gives us the full right to develop internationally with all the rights on the market in our time. Do you understand? That's why this is a very important point. You should really remember this and go read about it. Let's move on. What is Neova IT Limited? Neova IT Limited is the company's own developer of all IT products, the holder of intellectual property rights, which belongs to NV Global. Here is the registration in Hong Kong on October 18, 2023. That is, all of this can be verified by requesting it from the person who invited you. You can ask them, and they will send you the website where you can check this exact registration. It's available right on the official source. The CEO of the company is Mr. Deng. He is Chinese. I was in Hong Kong in 2019, and it's like something out of a movie, probably with Jean-Claude Van Damme, just like it was filmed back in the 80s with all those skyscrapers. In other words, it's simply a major financial world, you understand? It's not just a city, not just a country, it's a major financial world. That's why we definitely started our company story right from the center of the major financial world, because I've been to the largest financial cities in the world, and that's exactly what Hong Kong is. So our foundation starts from there, right? So what is NV Finance? NV Finance is exactly where, the generation of our money comes from, right? Fuck our clients. First, there's mining. Here we have one of our farms with 1,600 ASICs. An ASIC is a specialized kind of device that you set up in a facility. Cold air comes in and hot air comes out, meaning it heats up a lot. It connects to the internet and to a pool, and then it starts mining this or that cryptocurrency. Specifically, in the Tver region of the Russian Federation, we have a farm where Bitcoin and Litecoin are mined, and we have a direct partnership with the company Bitmain. Bitmain is the largest factory for the production of mining equipment. And we have a very serious contract with this company. In the near future, we will announce it to you, tell you about it, and even present it directly so you can see it for yourselves. In other words, this is a supplier of mining equipment worldwide. I've been familiar with mining since 2017. I had my own company, and even to this day, I still sell. Major investors and clients reach out to me because it's very important, and that's exactly why people want to partner with me. Because, let's put it this way, when it comes to taking action, everything is aimed solely at achieving results. That's why we stand by our word. And for me, that's a very important point. Why am I currently with NV Global? That's it. Trading. What is trading? Trading is specifically crypto trading. When a large number of people from the global financial community come together in one place and they trade. So for example, Bitcoin can fluctuate like a pulse, you see? One person buys, another sells. In this kind of environment, trading is happening constantly, and as a result, we earn from it 24/7. In other words, we make money both when the market goes down and when it goes up. So we constantly have turnover, and we are continuously earning profit from this, right? That's it. Fintech and crypto markets are investments in the financial sector. The crypto market, yes, hedging, using strategic hedging to minimize risks. Look, I won't go into detail about this right now, but I'll outline the main points. In addition to mining and trading, yes, we also have various other areas. And do you see them? Right? These are also sources of profit generation, sources of income, where we get our, let's call it so-called money, right? That's it. Let's move on. Financial flows, marketing, 20%, trading, 30%, hedging, 40%, fintech, specifically crypto, 10%. Because it's impossible to develop a company relying on just one of these sectors, since there will always be some kind of loss or deficit somewhere, some kind of drawdown, or we might enter a trade and, well, we might not exit it for a week, 2 weeks, and so on. You understand? Because we will be waiting for a certain profit. That's why we don't count on that. We launch various sources and they are currently in place. This is for your understanding, so you realize that we're not just in crypto, and like crypto crashes tomorrow and that's it. The company shuts down, you see? Because it lost all its money. We cannot allow that to happen. That's why from the very beginning I talked about the founder and president of the company and his background. You saw his skills, right? So moving forward, now there will be a roadmap. We will lay everything out in detail, show it, explain it thoroughly, so you can really immerse yourselves in it. But for now, we're just outlining the main points, because otherwise it would take too long. You see how much time I've already spent. Here, sources of profit, right? The company's net profit is 20 to 30% per month. Distributing profits in a 40 to 60 ratio allows us to provide investors with a return on their deposit of 8 to 12% per month. So over the past year and a half, I've doubled my own deposit. So over the course of a year, I doubled my deposit. Everything is strictly according to plan. Everything is credited on schedule. Everything is withdrawn. Everything works just like clockwork. You see? You really don't even need to worry about it. That's why I'm developing in this area. And that's why I talk about this tool, about this company, because this is my business. You understand? So that's it. NV Wallet. I showed you specifically our NV Wallet. This is a decentralized wallet, and that's an important point. Decentralized means it belongs to you. That is, there will be seed phrases, which you will see when you download and set it up. There will be seed phrases that you need, and I recommend you write them down. Literally take a piece of paper or a notebook, maybe make 2 copies. Put one away in a safe or somewhere secure, just so you don't lose them and keep them safe, especially if you plan to store crypto in it. So you understand, Neither a bank nor an exchange is decentralized. In other words, these do not belong to us. Everything is centralized. Everything is managed. That is, we upload documents there and so on. So, as they say, this is all part of the regulations for our proper actions, specifically in the financial market. But a decentralized wallet, on the other hand, allows you to do this. No one will even know about it at all. If, for example, your phone breaks, or you drop it in water, or something else happens, you can enter those seed phrases on any other device and regain access to your funds, your crypto, your money, and so on. So for me, this is just amazing. I mean, nowadays there are even wallets you can wear around your neck, right? They're called cold wallets. Here, decentralized wallets are probably one of the coolest things. There's a built-in secret messenger here, because nowadays, as you can see, with the times we live in and the internet, there are cameras everywhere and we're always in plain sight. Wherever you go, bam, you end up on TV, someone records you on their phone. If you get into an accident or something else happens, people immediately start filming everything on their phones. So, in a way, we're like an open book, and that probably annoys a lot of people. Everyone wants a bit of privacy. Exactly. And especially if you're in finance or in business, privacy is one of the most important factors, you see, so that not everyone is aware of it. Because if you come up with an idea and want to share it, but you're afraid someone might steal it or something like that, naturally, you'll discuss it only with a small, close circle and carefully select partners to include. So having a built-in chat allows you to communicate in messages and share information. So everything will be private because it's all hosted on your own servers and nothing is transmitted anywhere else. No phones. You'll have a wallet transaction there. Yes, you simply send the code to your friend, colleague, wife, husband, it doesn't matter who. And they get access and you can start communicating. So it's really easy and probably pretty cool. I've never seen anything like this until today. Not in any messenger, social network, or anywhere else, right? There you go. A proprietary DEX exchange, a mobile app, right? And right here it's all described. Trust Wallet was founded in 2017. In 2018, it became part of Binance, yes. As of today, Binance, and what's really interesting, yes, I'll tell you about it now. The number of users is over 60 million. Can you imagine? So people instantly right away. I remember in 2017, I found out about Binance, and the market just whoosh, it immediately took over. Seriously, it was all Binance, Binance, Binance everywhere. So if you still haven't heard about as of today, then it's something you should really think about. Only about 5% of people know about it, while 95% have never heard of it. And the most interesting thing is that for any recommendation, you will receive a commission. That's it. And here they show everything about Binance. Well, as you can see about Binance, its market capitalization, annual revenue of $50 to $150 million. Can you imagine the platform? The average transaction volume is from 1 to 5 billion per month. That's it. MetaMask, here's the foundation, and so on. Let's move on. BITNEVEX, an exchange. Just imagine, the company and our ecosystem have their own exchange. So we have a place where we can earn, and we have a place where we can store. And most interestingly, we have a place where we can trade. Second point, the potential of the cryptocurrency exchange market, right? Here's Binance in 2017. Yes, their annual revenue was 12 to 25 billion, net profit, and so on. You can see it all here. Bybit, founded in 2018. So Binance left the Russian market because of sanctions, since they moved their servers from China to the US. Sanctions, bam, Binance leaves the market. That's it. People immediately, bam, find Bybit. You see? So everyone found Bybit. Someone heard about it. Naturally, everyone started passing the essay around to their friends. And I personally know some really impressive individuals or guys who were pioneers, both on Binance as well as on Bybit. They made money simply by giving people their referral link to the exchange. 50, 60, even $100,000 a day when it was all at its peak. You understand? Just imagine that. So you simply have access to information. NV Global will always keep you up to date with the latest, most advanced technology and so on. And specifically, you have the opportunity to become part of this business. It's not just like, oh, tell me about Binance or Bybit, right? Everyone already knows about those. But BitNext, heck, maybe only 5% of people even know about it. Or maybe they do know. There you go. So, this is something unique. Because notice, it's not me saying this, not just some ordinary person, but AG Holding. Just imagine, an investment fund that has almost 80 million euros in its own assets. Roughly 1 million euros is about 100 million rubles, so do the math. And they plan, as soon as the exchange officially launches, to immediately invest $5 million. That's 4.7 million euros. So just imagine how interesting we've become to such funds. That's why I think it's interesting and probably will be for you too. All right, let's move on. Roadmap, 23rd, 24th year. What has been happening with us overall, right? Step by step, exactly. In 2023, in the fourth quarter, registration in Hong Kong, company establishment, launch of trading, mining, launch of the affiliate program, development of the ecosystem, white paper. We're moving. Oh, yes, here it's the third quarter of 23, developing the concept of platforms for investors, user business, team formation, the start of platform development. In 24, it turns out the creation is on the 1st of 24. We need to go from the bottom up. I'm a bit like a snake here. In 24, the creation of blockchain infrastructure, the launch of the BITNEVEX test network, the launch of the TNWX token for testing. The second Q, specifically the launch of NV Gaming. NV Gaming today is about 170 billion rubles annually. And even in 24, they spent 12 billion more than in 23, specifically on games. That is, people are simply, they are really interested in playing, they spend their time, they buy things there, goods and so on. So this is a unique niche. And for us, it has specifically launched, the launch of NV Gaming will happen in the near future. You will see all of this for yourselves. You'll play and be amazed, honestly. The development of a non-custodial wallet, that's the one we talked about, specifically NV Wallet, which is decentralized. The development of a centralized exchange and research into a blockchain explorer. The next third, yes, 24th. Let's look further down. Expansion of the affiliate program, launch of marketplace development, research into online conferences, payment systems, further development of the wallet and messaging, testing of the exchange and explorer. So today we are, not just in a simple test mode, meaning we're using it back and forth, trying things out, and we can add more as we go. The most interesting thing is that our management and the entire leadership team, including the founder and the company president, are loyal. They listen to us as clients, partners, or just ordinary people. Like, damn, add this feature. So right now, we're filling it out and improving it. And when everything is up and running, believe me, whoever catches on quickly, well, those who do will simply become dollar millionaires, trust me. And 04, yes, 24. At the top, you can see partnership with a GIF holding, completion of the marketplace, and the start of NVTM development. This is our webinar room. Right now, we're talking on Zoom, but in the near future, we'll be holding presentations and conferences of this scale where a large number of people will gather specifically for NVTM. First of all, its image quality is better. 1 terabyte per second, that's an incredible speed. It really feels like you're sitting with the person in real life. Secondly, it's very convenient. There are all sorts of features, slides open up. For example, here on Zoom, I can't see myself right now, so I have to use another phone, not a MacBook, right? Specifically to watch, read reviews, get into things, see how I look. But there, everything will be clearly visible. I'll be able to see myself, you'll see me and other people too. And at the same time, the presentation slides as well. That's it. Integration of messaging into the wallet, development of mobile apps, and so on. Let's move on. The roadmap for 2020, 25, and 26. We're already living in 2025 now, right? It's happening now, right? And 2026 is really just around the corner. And we start right from the very bottom left corner. So what do we have here specifically in 2025? The publication of NV Wallet on Google Play. So, for example, I have one Android phone and another iPhone. It's already available on Android. That's it. We can use it freely. We can communicate easily. We can safely store crypto there, exchange, and so on. Registration of NV Global in Turkey. You saw it earlier. We have an awesome, huge 2-story office in the center of Antalya. At the opening, there were heads of cybersecurity, all the management and top officials of the city, and many partners from different countries. So for me, especially in the field of cybersecurity in the crypto sector, this is a very important point. You understand? This is very serious, believe me. If there are any violations, there will be serious consequences. You understand? That's why we are moving forward strictly within the framework of legal development. The launch of NVTM includes a webinar room, patent registration for products, the launch of a VPN service, the start of the mainnet for the NVX token, the launch of a centralized exchange, and the launch of NV Wallet with a chat feature. That was right at the beginning. So what comes next? Next, we move up to Q2 2025, where we're looking at the publication of NV Wallet in the App Store. That means it has already been submitted, and literally in the near future, as soon as Apple and the App Store process everything. Their regulations have changed recently. It's already been a few months, and it should appear there soon, right? And maybe you've already heard that it's about to be released any day now. And you might think, damn, yeah, maybe these guys are just making things up, lying to us and so on. Trust me, guys, there's a set procedure for certain actions. If you want to start a business right now, you need to submit an application, go to the tax office. There are so many steps, opening accounts, this and that, like renting a place. It takes an unreal amount of effort just to get something started. That's why you need to understand that we're launching on a very large global scale. Many of you who have just joined or who are already part of our ecosystem, our community, might not realize that this is a global project. So you need to have the understanding and patience that once everything is up and running, it will be too late for you. In other words, your train will have already left. Because if you don't arrive at the station on time, you won't make it to an event, a birthday, a wedding, and so on. That's an important point. You don't usually run late, do you? So I recommend that you don't be late. Start getting involved right now. Testing of the crypto card payment system. Abroad, all of this has already been tested, and here our technical department and management have already tested everything as well. It all works. In the near future, at the next event, they will present and demonstrate this to us, and then they'll announce when it will start operating worldwide. The start of the asset tokenization platform development and the opening of an office in Antalya. Yes, I already mentioned this earlier. Let's scroll down. Expansion of investment products. Beta testing of the crypto card payment system. Launch of the coupon system for partners. Launch of the live bazaar marketplace. Can you imagine? I mean, let me just say the word. I'm not getting paid for this, but I'll say Wildberries. This is a billion-dollar company, Do you understand how and by whom it was created? Because many people are probably thinking right now, well, come on, it was the founder after all. Well, you're the leaders. It's like, this is your business. Guys, you need to understand the most important factor. The ecosystem, the company, the founders, the management, and the team are just, when you set a goal, they are simply accompanying attributes of your life. They are guides who will patiently and thoughtfully teach you the right way, help you figure things out, help you earn money, help you learn and grow in this field, guiding you step by step along your journey. And most importantly, be the first. Because you'll already have gone through those very first small steps, you'll understand how you can move forward to marketplaces and be, the very first, or maybe the most in demand in some product niche. And this isn't just about the CIS market or some other country. This will be a global platform. The beginning of metaverse development. The metaverse is really a whole separate world. I think you've seen the movie Ready Player One, where the world is basically already destroyed, right? And people just come in, run into some little room. It's unrealistic, maybe kind of dirty, and in real life, it's not even clear where he lives. He puts on a headset, enters the metaverse, and there he is who he wants to be. He can go shopping, he can visit someone, or take a ride in some car. So this world already exists. It's already here with us. There are NFT coins, which are just little pictures, and they're sold for millions of dollars. And maybe you could draw it very easily and simply if you're an artist. If you just figure out the technology, especially with NV Global, you'll be able to do it and you'll simply know where to post it and make money, you see? So that will be the value of yours because NV Global reveals people's potential. That's it. The launch of tokenization of virtual assets. Let's do this quickly here, otherwise I'll just leave. The launch of an e-commerce platform on the blockchain. The start of neobanking with fiat crypto exchange. Neobanking, international crypto bank, crypto fiat bank. So we know where to earn, we know how to receive, right? In crypto, in NV Global. We have everything we need. We know all sorts of different difficulties that happen there with payments and so on. So we have a solution, just bam. The bank made money, withdrew it, paid for something on the marketplace, went in, posted it. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, what kind of situation, right? What kind of situation have we found ourselves in? Believe it or not. I really recommend you believe it because this is very serious. No one has done anything like this. Well, at this point, we not only have something to brag about, but we actually have something to show. The commercial launch of the payment system. I can say this. Take a screenshot of this roadmap, and after some time, in a year, you'll see all of this come true. Yes, the elbow will bite, but it's too late. That's why you need to start now. The commercial launch of the crypto car payment system. In the first month of 2026, you can see there global promotion and development of the ecosystem, expansion of the metaverse's financial integration features. Continuing on, and here by quarters, yes, in the second quarter, the global promotion continues. And multilingual support will be implemented in accordance with international requirements. So this will really be a kind of development. Let's move on. Opportunities for clients. Because damn, why did I come here? What am I doing here, there, and so on? What do I need, right? And here they are. The opportunities to use the company's products, access to innovative services and financial products, and convenient tools for investing and managing capital. Why am I reading this? So that I can quickly and concisely go over everything for you. Support and consultation from the company's experts. Imagine I told you about rule birds. $50 to the company, you registered. If you have goals, if you have the desire, the drive, and you want and crave something, you will succeed here. For example, with $50, in my team, a few guys started out simply because, well, that's the world we live in today. Today, things might be going well for you. You say, man, everything's going great for me. But believe me, when everything is going well, that's exactly when you need to think about the fact that at any moment, since life is like a pulse, it can put you in a situation to test and see how ready you really are. And for me, I have friends from different generations and age groups, and money doesn't have any value for me in that sense because I don't judge people by their appearance. That's why I'm developing myself in this industry, you see? Because when it comes to a person who has nothing, or maybe has lost everything, and a person who has it all, believe me, I'll choose the one who has nothing. Do you know why? Because that person is ready to work with me for 25 hours straight. He's ready to go somewhere with me. He's ready to embrace something new when you set new goals and so on. And there are people like that in our organization, in our company, and even in my team. When someone starts with $50 and follows certain steps according to the system, we have a training system. He wakes up and finds $1,000 in his account. This really does happen. If you don't believe it, just write to me in the Telegram chat and I'll introduce you to one of these guys. We'll open it up, take a look, and he'll tell you about this situation himself in case you don't believe it. Or ask your colleagues or the people who invited you. So you can start in the company with just $50. $50. What is $50? A package of products. A package of products that we eat, throw away, and forget about. But here, you can acquire an international business, you see? And it's international. Why do I say international? The reason is that I actually spent an entire year, yes, a full 12 months negotiating back and forth, discussing and working through all the details with one of my close friends, Juan. It was a long and sometimes challenging process, but we kept talking and trying to reach an agreement. He's Latin American, Colombian. He's very strong, very powerful, very wealthy, and he really knows a lot about crypto. He has his own company and so on. But I actually hunt for sharks like that, because I need strong people stronger than me. And this person, even though he has money, is very principled. He's a businessman, an entrepreneur. He knows how to calculate. He started with $50 on principle, just $50, and in a month and a half, made an $8,000 check, built a team of 400 people. And just a few days ago, a multi-day conference ended. A 2-day conference with training, presentations, and our delegation of the leadership team and the company's co-founder. Specifically with Nordal, and also with Juan, there were well over 100 people there. You understand? At that particular moment, I was in the Urals, you see? Why did he do this? He did it to show people, not to show off his own status, like I can come in right away with millions, But to show that this business is accessible starting from $50, which absolutely everyone has. Because you eat every day, you buy some clothes, you pay utilities, everyone has these expenses. $50, that's the starting point. A new continent. A person simply changes their life. He just moved. He lived in Dubai, moved his whole life to Turkey, and is just crushing it, you know? Imagine $50. And about Anton too, he made $1,000 in just 2 days of being there, simply by attending events and gatherings. And all we did was just tell him what needed to be done. A person of age. That's it. The most important point here is that the deposit is refundable. That is, you can buy yourself a license, purchase from $50 up to $50,000. Until February of 24-25, our maximum deposit was $100,000. Now we've reduced it, and by the end of the year, it will be reduced even further. Do you understand? Because for us, the amount of money isn't what's important. What's important is the number of users. And that's your choice. Do you understand? That is, you can stay at $50 for a month, you can spend a month there and earn a little, or just do nothing at all. Or at that moment, you could be at $1,000 or at $10,000. And you will feel the difference. Here you earn 80,000, here 8,000, and here it turns out to be 800 rubles. So the difference will be yours, whether it's rubles, dollars, it doesn't matter. Well, specifically $8. That's it. Earning 8 to 12% per month from the company. What does that look like? Let's take a simple example. All right, an example. What does it look like? So basically, you make a deposit. Everyone registers with $50, you figure things out. You go everywhere, attend events, take part in training, have calls with mentors, and so on with leaders. That's it. You'll see that, damn, you opened someone's account. Withdrawal. Today the withdrawal came through, thank you. Just while I was talking, bam! The withdrawal came in, and in USDT. So it's really easy to exchange. You can even use it to pay almost anywhere. Here you get a stable profit of 8 to 12% paid out twice a month. First of all, if you put your money in a bank, you don't see that money for a whole year. Even though the bank does the same thing. It also trades in crypto. Alpha, Sberbank, VTB, they are the largest crypto brokers in Russia. They invest billions in advertising for this. We just don't do that. Why? Because for us, it's important that ordinary, simple people, regular members of our ecosystem, can come in, register with $50, and believe me, they will start changing the lives of many people because they have values. You see? They will rise from the very bottom, and with every dollar, they will increase their own value. That's it. Diversification, reliable strategies, flexibility in reinvestment, and fund withdrawal. Individual terms for investments starting from $50,000. You can ask your curator for details about this, but everything will be formalized in documents and notarized legally. Opportunities for partners. Because we've been talking about all this for a long time, right? Well, guys, here it is. I'm telling you exactly how it is. I really want to get this across to you so you can see all the finest details of this world. Because this might be a new world for you. Well, and for us as well. Opportunities for partners. The partnership program. Be part of the NV Partners community. Training from practicing professionals, joint travel, a supportive environment, access to products on exclusive terms, promoting the company's products, earning on the international market from 20 to 20% of your team's turnover, and bonuses up to $3 million. For example, I just received a $9,000 bonus from the company. Can you imagine? I just received a $9,000 bonus. Plus the check is very good. Believe me, guys, the paycheck is really good. I won't brag or boast, but seriously. Another thing, there are events. You can travel to Turkey at the company's expense. Build your team, grow globally, earn up to 20%, and receive bonuses of up to $3 million. The company's geography. If you see that some country or city isn't listed here right now, it means that market is still untapped. That means you just need to go and claim that market. What I like about this business is that as of today, you can see, for example, Colombia is here. I'm in Chelyabinsk, and I launched Colombia in Latin America. In 2 months, that's plus 400 people in the team. I signed up one person, and now there are 400 more people in the team. The new continent is growing. That's what's unique. That's awesome. And do you know why this is happening? Yes, maybe you could say that I'm just that good, that I have such rich experience. Yes, that's part of it too. But the most important thing is values. Second, it's systematic work with your mentors. It's consistently attending all events, online, offline, any kind of event. Because I need this, you see? And personal communication with the management, with the president, you know? So it's real. I mean, I'm a partner you can rely on, you understand? I want you to understand that here, you need to take responsibility if you want to succeed. And by responsibility, I mean simple steps. Trust your mentor and follow the system. At the same time, your life, you won't be turning away from your own life, you'll simply be adding new vibrant colors to it. That's it. Legal registration in Turkey, Hong Kong, offices in Antalya. There are offices across Russia, including one here in Chelyabinsk, Belarus, Belgium, Germany, Kazakhstan, Kenya, Colombia, Malaysia, Paraguay, Russia, Turkey, Ukraine, the Philippines. Can you imagine? That's how it is. And believe me, there will be even more in the near future. NV Summit in Antalya. Now, this is probably a separate story I want to share. From June 10th to 15th, we will have an amazing event taking place at the incredible Selina Belek Hotel. It's part of the Titanic Hotel chain. I have a tourism background, that's 5 stars. My first education is in tourism, my second education is psychologist and teacher. So my first degree is in hotel service and tourism. And it turns out that this hotel in general, where the company holds events and these summits, I've realized for myself that I'm not interested in just relaxing, lounging on the beach, sunbathing, or going to parties or anything like that. I'm just not interested in that anymore. What interests me is changing, developing, relaxing while learning, earning, and at the same time acquiring new things. It's like a gathering of the coolest people on the planet. New connections are made. I found, well, through acquaintances of acquaintances, my wife was invited to the company, to the office, and she ended up coming. 13 years ago, we met when we had nothing, just dreams and so on. Together, we visited more than 25 countries. Last year alone, I went to Turkey twice. This year, I'll already be fulfilling the promotion, and the most interesting thing is that I'm not going there alone, but with a whole big team. You see, that's awesome. At the company's expense. This will take place from June 10th to 15th, 2025, in Antalya, Turkey. Our promotion runs from February to June. That's it. The most interesting thing is you can ask your mentor about it, or just write in the chat. Basically, yes. They'll send you a link. Also, we have an online marathon running where the winner can go to Turkey at the company's expense without the promotion. So that's available. Check it out, ask about it. It's really happening because we're already participating and a lot of newcomers are joining. It's a really cool experience. There's a lot of growth happening there. The event will give you a new perspective. The event will introduce you to a new circle of amazing people. Amazing not because they're wealthy. And most importantly, do you know what true wealth is? It's not about money. Wealth is in the development of the mind. Because these people won't judge you by your appearance, they won't envy you, and they won't talk behind your back. They will simply admire you. They will communicate with you as if you are one of their own. Well, I know this because I've been experiencing it for 13 years. This isn't my first trip abroad, specifically for an event, specifically with the company. All expenses paid by the company. Just imagine a situation where, when you talk to these people, you feel they are closer to you than your own relatives. That's the reality. It really is like that. The second point is knowledge, trainings, the program, all this content. Yes, it's just going to be an awesome, the most amazing vacation, a real boost. And most importantly, it's not just about going on vacation to relax and then spending the whole year working from morning till night at the factory and so on. There's also all that, the routine. But you are actually building an entire ecosystem around yourself. You understand what you need to do and how you need to do it. You are filled with vibrant experiences, people, knowledge, and tools. Your horizons just open up because a vacation is essential for psychological health. It's one of the most important factors in our lives, part of the wheel of life balance. If you realize that something in your life isn't changing, if your business isn't working out, you're already in this business, but something just isn't working, right? Then go to an event, even if you have to pay for it yourself, if you have that opportunity. Go to an event, buy tickets, pay for a hotel, or just start taking action. You still have time to complete this promotion, to find yourself at such an amazing event, to launch yourself into a whole new life, where you'll be surrounded by nothing but vibrant colors. Let's move on. NV Global, make your dreams come true. It's like this collage of goals and dreams, a collage of goals and dreams. And it's really, truly, genuinely real, without any doubt at all. Do you know why? Because when you here's my recommendation, just take pictures straight from magazines if you don't have a Mercedes or something else yet, or if you want it, right? Just create a collage of your dreams, hang it up instead of some painting in your living room, above your bed, or wherever you like. Just really visualize it, come to NV Global and make it happen. Achieve your dream. So friends, please give me some feedback in the chat. How was it for you? Was it clear? Not too boring? Not too much? Well, I really tried, guys. This new presentation is a first for today, so in advance, I am not apologizing. Here, all right. In short, guys, take action. You will succeed. Because if I could do it, you will definitely be able to as well. With NV Global, with the community, with me, with us, do you know why you will succeed? Because if you join this community, you will get to know me personally. You will meet such unique people here who will help you realize yourself, even if you don't have any money and only have $50. It doesn't matter. Goals, actions. Thank you all. Goodbye and see you soon.